Okay, guys, welcome back. Today, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about what's called literal equations. And what literal equations are is it's basically a formula or an equation. It's an equation that involves two or more variables. The most common form of a literal equation is a formula. So, in your guided notes, it says when you work with literal equations, you can use methods you've learned in our chapter to isolate any particular variable. So that's the key thing is when you're looking at this stuff, you want to solve for a particular variable. So like in this first example, it says what is the solution of 4x minus 5y equals 3 for y. So what I'm going to do is my idea is I'm going to um, solve this for the letter y. Get the basically what I'm trying to do is get the variable completely by itself. So to do that, I guess what I need to do is I need to ask myself, what am I, who do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of the 4x. So to get rid of the 4x, I'm going to actually subtract 4x from both sides. Now I cannot take that 4x away from the 3, so now I have negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 3. All right, and then so now what I need to do is to continue to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 5, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So break it apart. We did this in another chapter. So y is equal to 4 over 5x minus 3 over 5. So now I've solved this equation for the variable y. Now it says, what is the value of y when x is 10? So when x is 10, what do I do then is I actually literally will plug in the number 10 for the letter x. So now I have 4 times, well, I can cross cancel here, so that's a 1 and that's a 2. So then I have 8 minus 3 fifths. Now, if you don't have your calculator, the shortcut is this. This is the same as 40 over 5 minus 3 over 5. 40 minus 3 is 37, so y is 37 fifths. Of course, if you use your calculator, it's a lot easier. There's a couple more. There's a on the you do over there. There's two examples that you need to work through, very similar to this one. Let's take a look at a second example. This one says solve the equation for AB minus BC equals CD for the letter B. Well, that's kind of weird, right? Well, what I can do here for this is I notice that they have AB and the BC. There's a common factor there, so I'm going to pull out the B, and so now I have A minus C equals CD. That's the reverse of the distributive property. Then, if you think about it, it's B times A minus C is equal to CD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by A minus C. And it's a little abstract, but so basically B is equal to CD over A minus C. It's very, very, very abstract thought, but basically I'm solving this entire equation for the letter B. Okay, I'm solving this entire equation for the letter B. Where you see this applied is when you look at something like this perimeter formula. The perimeter is 2 length plus 2w. I have three variables. I have the letter P, I have the letter L, and I have the letter W. I'm going to solve this for the letter W. So I'm going to solve it for the letter W. I'm going to keep it by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in P equals 2L plus 2W, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2L to get it onto the other side. So now I have P minus 2L equals 2W. Now I need to get the W alone, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So then what I have is P minus 2L all over 2 is equal to W. That's good. Or I could write it as P over 2 minus L equals W. Either one would be sufficient. I could also solve this for the letter. I could also solve this for the letter L. If I'm going to solve it for the letter L, I'm going to do essentially the same exact thing. If I'm going to solve it for the letter L, what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2W from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 2W. and I get P minus 2W equals 2L. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And so then I get P minus 2W all over 2 is equal to L. Okay? There's one bonus one I guess we'll do. If I have an equation, if I have a formula like, well, a simple one. How about the circumference of a circle? C equals 2 pi r. There's only two variables here. There's the letter C and there's the letter r. So if I want to solve this for the letter r, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. And then the 2 pi is mumbo jumbo. And so I'm left with the radius is equal to the circumference divided by 2 pi. So literally, it's that simple. Hopefully, you understand it. If not, pause the video, replay it, whatever. I'll see you in class tomorrow, and may the force be with you.